God is omnipotent. What God Cannot Do by Reverend Father Peter John Imaji, an Augustinian priest. Omnipotence, derived from the Latin omni, meaning all, and potence, meaning powerful, refers to the quality of being all-powerful. When we speak of God's omnipotence, we're referring to his unlimited power to do whatever he wills. This concept is a cornerstone in the understanding of the divine across many theological traditions. However, in the sphere of theology, the idea of omnipotence often sparks a fascinating debate. Can God, being omnipotent, do absolutely everything? Well, as it turns out, there are things that God cannot do, as explained by many great Catholic theologians. Take, for instance, the teachings of St. Augustine of Hippo. He argued that the things God cannot do are not due to a lack of power, but rather because they are against his nature. Similarly, St. Ambrose of Milan posited that God cannot lie. This inability is not a limitation of his power, but an affirmation of his nature. Lying contradicts the essence of God, who is truth itself. This concept is also echoed in the Holy Scripture. In 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 13, St. Paul states that God cannot deny himself. This isn't a sign of weakness or limitation, but a testament to his integrity and consistency. So the list of things that God cannot do are many. God cannot lie, being truth itself. God cannot be foolish, as he is the epitome of wisdom. God cannot be unjust, for he is justice personified. These cannots are not weaknesses, but rather reflections of his divine nature. Yet it's crucial to understand the context in which we say what God cannot do does not exist. This statement can be interpreted in various ways, depending on whether it's used in a context of prayer, omnipotence, or responsibility. To summarize, when we talk about God's omnipotence, it doesn't mean he can do everything without exception. Rather, there are things God cannot do, not because of a lack of power, but because they contradict his divine nature. This understanding of God's omnipotence, based on profound theological insights, invites us to perceive God not as an all-doing entity, but as an all-powerful being whose actions align perfectly with his divine nature.